Reece, well played. A real battle of a London derby. That you're pretty proud on the whole of the way you pushed them to the limit today.
Yeah, it's obviously disappointing, to come away with only 1 point. We went down to 10 men pretty early in the game, and that made it difficult. I felt, we had a lot more of the ball when it was 11v11, and going down to 10 made it more difficult.
Yeah, God, that really says something that you stood here disappointed against a team like that, given that they had that man advantage for so long. Does that tell you about the progress you've made? No,
I think everyone can see, where we are, what we're fighting for. I think today was, a big statement. Even though we wanted to win, there's lots of positives to take from that. How were you able to give them so many problems tactically in that first sort of 30, 40 minutes before, obviously, Caicedo got the red card? No, we worked hard. There's a lot of, analysis and, hard work from the managing staff that, sets us up the right way and wants us to, play and perform in a certain way that, he thinks will hurt them. Physically, in that midfield particularly, did it feel like a game on the edge? Looking from the sideline, it almost felt like a red card was maybe inevitable in that match. I mean, if you look at the amount of yellows there were, I thought there was, going to be one more red. There was so many. Even after Caicedo, yeah. Yeah, there was, maybe 7 or 8 players, on yellows throughout, both. Why do you think that was? Oh, it's a London derby. Right. Everyone wants to win. This game is daft question. Yeah. How did you enjoy the battle in that midfield? There was a time where it was, maybe last season, unusual to see you in there, but now, look, I'm going to give you the Player of the Match award in a minute or two. So you're able to match top players and run a game now. No, I think, Arsenal, they've been at the top for the last few years. Playing them is, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. And no, their midfield is tough, but, we done what we could today and tried to, play our game and, hurt them off the ball. Yeah. Did you get a view of the red card for Moises? No, I haven't seen it back, so no, I have no comment on that. Fine. What did the manager say at half-time about reshaping you? No, he changed, the formation slightly. We knew we wasn't, going to have the ball as much, and they was going to come, and we had to, soak up the pressure and try and catch them, on the counter, which, we did a few times, but, we didn't have the final touches. Yeah, and as you said already, though, despite the disappointment, a statement performance matching them like that. Yeah, I think, I'm proud of the boys. It was, electric, here at Stamford Bridge today, and, we take a point and move forward. Well done, Reece. You are, as I said earlier, the player of the match. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Well done, mate.
Yeah, he had a good afternoon. Chelsea, only the second team to stop Arsenal winning in any competition since the 24th of September. We had 10 men from 38 minutes onwards. I mean, he's calling it a statement result for Chelsea.
It is indeed, considering, as I said, the value of the opposition and the type of performance that the team played. Particularly, James was excellent. I think he's adapting to the position better and better. He's more comfortable. But today he had such an energy that I didn't see at the times. It was a lot of energy, a lot of quality. Very, very, very good. I think he was an example for everyone.
For him personally now, he just needs to stay fit, doesn't he? Because we know what a good player he is, and just get that run of games.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't doubt his quality. We don't doubt his football intelligence. It's just about, being able to play longer without getting injured. That is the only concern about him. And also, he's a player, as we said, we were talking with Ian before, whether I like him more as a midfielder or as a right back. I used to like him more as a right back, but now I'm reconsidering.
Interesting. And he actually took the corner for Chelsea's goal. Yeah. But before we see that, it actually came from a David Raya save, which when we look at it wasn't going in. But obviously David Raya doesn't know that at the time.
You know what, when you watch it, he kind of seems to get a little bit discombobulated, coming there, then changing his mind. So then it's kind of lost maybe the shape where the goal is. But yeah, you can see it's clearly missing there. And obviously, they score from it, but you can't really look too deeply into that simply because you can never quite tell as a goalkeeper exactly where you are. You just feel like you have to make the save. But it's good movement from Trevor Chalobah. But again, it all comes down to, as Gianfranco will attest to, the quality of the ball in.
Yeah, the delivery is excellent.
Fantastic.
Absolutely excellent. Also, he's delivering in the most dangerous area.
Yeah.
Normally, I think there is a percentage in corner kicks the majority of the goals are scored on the first post or the nearby. And there was an example.
And that was Chelsea's first corner of the game.
Yeah.
And only the second time Arsenal conceded from one in the Premier League this season.
But again, you know, even against Tottenham as well, Tottenham are not bad at them as well. Chelsea are very good at them. But I think the main thing with this particular game, as from the boys' point of view, is that, you know, they'll be disappointed because they did go down to 10 men and they know what it's going to take to try and finish this off. But I think with the 2 centre-halves missing, 2 new centre-halves coming in, playing against the Chelsea side, I think if it was 11 men, I think it would have been a really tough game, even tougher. I think they would have had more possession. They might have caused us more problems. But I think you take that and you move on again, especially with the week they've had.
Yeah, as I say, they led for just 11 minutes. Mikel Merino scored some important goals, doesn't he, for us?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does, because he's got a brilliant and uncanny, not even an uncanny knack, he does that. He gets in the box. And the thing is, when he gets in there, Steve, he's finishing and he's heading. It's all on point. It's all precise. You know, Saka does well. You know, obviously Cucurella should know he's coming back on his left foot, but it's the way that Merino, if you watch where he is there, Fofana is, for me, as a defender, as a central defender, he leaves him now and he's now ball watching and like he's hoping that the ball doesn't get put into a good position instead of making sure that he's back another yard for Fofana, because another yard he's able to maybe flick it away or something. But great movement from Merino arriving into the box again, and that's what he does so well for us.
Yeah, I think Saka's ball was brilliant, first of all.
Super.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, that is the mistake so many defenders they do. They get attracted by the ball. They stop ball watching and lose the opposition who is going behind them. And it happens so often. It's such a common... If it was probably... an Italian coach, he'll be fuming or something like that. A defender that loses his man in the box is not acceptable.
Is that the fine line of concentration sometimes in a big game like that can be the difference?
It is. But it's very, very important. It's one of the things that the Italian coaches, they're very strict on. The defender, when the ball is on the left, one eye has to be there, but the body doesn't have to be square towards the ball. You have to have the body open, and you have to be watching the ball, but above all, the opposition. It's the opposition who's going to score, not the ball. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Your man that cannot get the ball, whether the ball is delivered to the first post, the second post, or to the middle, your man doesn't have to touch the ball. Stop.
Mikel Merino's 10th goal for club and country this season. Right at the end, you were out of your chair when that ball went in.
Well, I think that with this one, it's just, you know, I'm thinking like Gyökeres is going to... Is this the Gyökeres chance?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, you know, he's going to... If it's me here, Steve, I'm screaming so loud, anyone in front of me is going to cringe or going to drop out. That's what I've always been told. You have to shout, let them know that you're coming, because then Timber moves his head out of the way and Gyökeres just comes in and gets a clean header, free header. I'll be devastated with that. You know what I mean? He's got to let him know. He has to let him know when that's coming in. Victor Gyökeres has got to let Jura Timber know that I'm coming, because that's a massive opportunity missed.
OK, 1-1. Stay with us. Plenty more reaction.
Well, Mikel, a big battle that you're obviously right at the heart of. As you stand here now, emotions, feelings about the performance and the result?
Well, on one hand, disappointed because we didn't win. And obviously, when you wear this T-shirt, you want to win every game. But on the other hand, we know this is going to be a long season. This is a really tough stadium to come. And, well, we take the point. Obviously, we could have done things better. But I think the team showed a good mentality coming back from that goal.
What are your thoughts specifically on what you could have done better? 11 against 11 and then playing 10 men?
Yeah, maybe managing the game a little bit better, understanding what they were trying to do, how they were pressing, the spaces they were freeing for us, and trying to attack those maybe in the first half when they were going man-to-man so aggressively. And then with 10 men, a little bit more of patience with the ball. That doesn't mean complacency and playing like slow, but trying to find, you know, the wings and trying to elaborate a little bit more there to cross with players the box and try to thread a little bit more. Still, obviously, they're a good side, but I feel like the team did a good job today. We take the point, and obviously we keep going and let's win the next game.
And that next game is Brentford at home on Wednesday. And the positive, as he says, they did find a way from going 1 down when they were shocked.
Yeah, they did. And you'd like to think that Arsenal would find a way, especially going down to 10 men, the form they've shown up to this point this season, even coming off of 2 big games. But that's what happens when you're going to try and win the league. You've got all of the games are big now, and the teams you're going to play, they know it's a big game for them as well. I thought that Chelsea looked very dangerous. And with 11 men, I think that would have been a very, very tough game for us. But you have to be happy with a point away from home because, again, all that does is then puts a bit more pressure on the home game that's coming that you have to win.
OK, let's get the thoughts now of the Arsenal manager. Here he is, Mikel Arteta.
Well, Mikel, a real full-blooded derby for sure. What do you make of it as a contest, firstly?
Yeah, a really tough one. I think 2 teams that they play with a lot of intensity, aggression, will. You could sense that in every tackle, in every action, how much it was at stake. So that made it a game that in the beginning, especially the first 20 minutes, you could not see much, especially in any long sequences of play. And then the game started to settle, and after the red card, when we needed to, settle, make the adjustment at half-time, in the first action straight after the half-time, we concede a foul, a wide free kick, and then a corner, and concede a goal.
Did you expect the sort of physically intense game we got? I mean, right from that first challenge, I think the first foul was Cucurella on Saka, and it didn't let up really from there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what made you expect that? Just the fact it's a London derby?
I mean, what is at stake? I mean, 2 top teams fighting for the Premier League, so it's normal.
What problems did they give you tactically, 11 against 11?
The same that we gave to them. The moment that someone finds a superiority, a free play with the space and man-to-man, you have to track back. So it's clear on all the direct balls and second balls and who wins that duel.
At half-time, what did you say to your players and how near the top of the list was don't get a red card now, especially with them down to 10?
Yeah, so we had 4 players with yellow cards, and you could see that they were targeting those players to get the game even, and probably stay away from that. The one probably with biggest risk, it was Ricky. That's why I had to take him out against Estebao or Neto, that he could come in and look for him. We done that, but we didn't really settle because the first action in the second half, long ball, they get a foul, wide free kick, corner, and a score. And then emotionally, you need to get through that. And it took us a while to get set, to get fixed, to be much more patient than we were in certain moments, to move them, to generate the spaces, and then we scored a brilliant goal. And then, we had 2 or 3 big chances, but the reality is every time that the keeper catches the ball, they were in transition.
Yes, they were. And let's round off the red card that he was talking about, the challenges going in very early. In fact, the Cucurella one we were talking about very early on.
Yes.
Saka set the tone, didn't it?
Yeah, we always knew that's gonna be because them 2 always had this kind of like this competition. But that one with Moses Caicedo there, he was really...
That was 7 minutes
pumped
in.
up. Yeah, he was really pumped up. And this one again, Eze's going back away. There's no real danger. They were doing good with the press. To cause Arsenal problems, but then this one he's gone into a challenge that Mikel Merino's he's got good control. He's got the control. He's passed it quick. He's got control. Maybe that's where he should have just eased off. But Mikel Merino's passed it through his legs. He's kind of caught him off guard, and he's well within his rights to go for it, but he's missed it, and that's why he gets sent off.
No, I stand on my opinion I gave before. He wanted to get the ball. He was a little bit too aggressive, but he wanted to get the ball. As you can see, the tackle is down to the ground, to the foot, to where the ball was. Merino has been brilliant to, just deliver the ball quickly, and probably he was put off by this.
But overall, Chelsea have restricted Arsenal to their least efforts in a game in the Premier League since October 24 there.
With
10 men.
Yeah, I was listening to what Merino said. It's I think that was the key of the game. You expect that when a team goes down to 10 men and the other opposition is Arsenal, the Arsenal has more control of the game, more putting more pressure with building up action after action. Chelsea didn't allow that. They just stopped the Arsenal over controlling the game, and also they were dangerous on counter. So I think that has been the key. It's a very mature performance from Chelsea, because I don't think that there will be many teams that they can do to Arsenal in those conditions the same thing.
You know what, Steve? I'd say as well, Chelsea took full advantage of the fact that Arsenal, for me, like this last week, they looked a bit tired. And that's why I said with 11 men it would have been an interesting game, but I think that Arsenal have got to be happy to take that point. Chelsea are quite unlucky to have a man sent off like they did, because I think they might have caused a lot more problems.
Yeah, but it's still been a good week, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Wins over Spurs and Bayern.
Fantastic week for Arsenal still. Brilliant week.
And they are still the team to beat. Righty, Gianfranco, thank you very much indeed for your company. So we head off into a